is going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video, my sports Gematria. In this video, I'm going to go over the NBA games for Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021. I'm going to show you highlights of both sides, and it's going to be up to you to determine who you think will win based on the numbers. I encourage you to add additional information on top of this if needed for you to feel confident in your own pick. And if for some reason you're curious to know who I'm picking in these games, you'll have to join my Patreon. My picks are always in writing, underlined, and italicized. For more information on that, please read the description of this video. I wish you guys the best of luck in your picks today. Let's go ahead and get to the games. We are looking at Wizards and Sixers in Game 5, Hawks Knicks in Game 5, Grizzlies Jazz in Game 5, and then Mavericks and Clippers in Game 5 to end the night. On this side of the screen, I have what I call my daily numbers, date numerology, Gregorian Hebrew calendar. And then on this side is what I call my game numbers. Away team up top, home, their season record, their postseason record, their coach's record, head-to-head in the middle between the two teams, and the home team at the bottom, their season record, postseason record, their coach's record. Up top here, I have the series record. So this is Game 5. Sixers lead the series 3-1. They can end it 4-1 today or 3-2 with the loss. 36th playoff game for the current season. What's interesting about this number here is we've seen in the 21st playoff game, we saw the Celtics beat the Nets and drop the series 2-1, like 21. And then in the 31st NBA playoff game, we saw the Wizards beat the Sixers, dropping the series to 3-1, like 31. This being the 36th game for the playoffs, Wizards could potentially sit on 36 wins for the season. So I wanted to show that connection. It's the 81st day of the Hebrew Religious. This is the 8th seed versus the 1 seed, like 81 or 18. It's the Sixers coach's 1,881st all-time game, 1881. And the Sixers can get their 232nd postseason win as a team, it being the 22nd day of the 3rd month on the Hebrew Religious, the 81st day of the year. 223 is just an anagram of 232. 49 date numerology on the Gregorian. Sixers can get their 32nd home win as the Wizards coach sits on 49 wins postseason for his career. 32 sums to 49. One thing Wizards has going for them, it is June 2nd, like 6-2 or 2/6, and Wizards could extend the series as they become 2-6 head-to-head against the Sixers for the NBA season, currently for this season, 6-2, 2-6. Outside of that, I would expect the Sixers would just go ahead and close it out unless they do want to extend it with Embiid hurt or out for the game. I don't know if he's out for the game officially, but it could be a narrative since he was out or went out during Game 4. Also, with regards to it being the 22nd day of the 3rd month, 223, the 48th prime number, Wizards coach can get his 48th postseason loss as Sixers get their 232nd postseason win. For Wizards, though, I mean, Sixers could get their 25th loss for the season. Today does have 29 date numerology on the Gregorian. This is the 29th postseason head-to-head matchup between these two teams. 29 and 25 are identical in all 4 base ciphers, along with the number 47. It's very similar to 97, 79, and 75. But Sixers could get their 25th loss on a day with 29 date numerology, 29, 25, identical in all 4 base ciphers. And it would be Wizards that would make the series become 3-2, like 32, instead of Sixers getting their 32nd home win. It is a day leaving 212 left on the Gregorian year, and Sixers could get their 221st postseason loss. 2-2-1, just an anagram of 2-1-2. What else? 5-7-1. What's that? 105th prime. 105 is the 14th triangular. Wizards, if they do get their 37th win, I would imagine it'd probably be because of the coach. It says 1,032nd all-time game for his career. And the number 37 sums to 132. 1,032nd game for his career. Wizards can get their 37th win for the season, which looks like a 132. Also, he can get his 50th win for his career, as he sits on 47. As I mentioned, 47, 29, and 25, all identical in all four base ciphers. He can get his 50th post win. 22nd day of the 9th month on the Hebrew Civil. 229 is the 50th prime number. So there's numbers here for Wizards for sure. The thing that just strikes me is the NBA playoff game, just because I have two examples, the Nets game and the Sixers game, where it actually did come into play, or at least it lined up at that time. So I'm curious about the 36 and the 36 here, but we'll see. We'll see. Embiid is out. It could be that narrative to where Wizards, maybe they win one more game. I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to keep looking it over. But I would advise to continue to look it over yourselves and add more information to it if needed. Let's look at the Hawks and the Knicks. This is game 5 for them. Hawks could close the series out 4-1, or they can fall 3-2 heading into a game 6. This is the 37th NBA playoff game for this season. One thing that's kind of tricky here is in the last game, I used Atlanta Hawks' name to make the pick, basically. If I can spell it correctly. Atlanta Hawks, 32, 193. They became 44, 32 for a season record. The Knicks could get their revenge here in game 5 and get their 193rd all-time head-to-head win against the Hawks, as the Hawks sits on 44 wins for the season with the loss, 193, the 44th prime number. It is the 14th postseason game between these two, and Knicks could get their 43rd win for the season. 43 is the 14th prime number. 14 spelt out sums to 104, and they would become 10-4 postseason head-to-head. But the trick is that Hawks could just become 4-4 head-to-head against the Knicks for the season with the win, as the Knicks get their 193rd postseason loss as a team, the 44th prime number, losing to the Atlanta Hawks, which sums to 193. I almost feel like I want to see the Knicks get that 193 first before they get this 193 here, is kind of what I'm thinking a little bit, but it doesn't have to go that way. We do have 29 date numerology on the Gregorian. 29 does sum to 149. The 35th prime number, Knicks would get their 35th loss for the season. Today does have 13 date numerology. 13 sums to 45, and 2 of the 4 base ciphers. Hawks would get their 45th win as they close it out. One thing Knicks do have got going for them is their coach, 419th all-time win. He could pick up his 419th on this day. 419 is the 81st prime number. This is the 81st day of the Hebrew religious, so that would be going in his favor if they were to do it. Grizzlies versus the Jazz. Very similar to the first game. it being the 36th playoff game, Wizards could sit on 36 wins with a loss. In this game, Game 5 for the Jazz, which can end the Grizzlies 4-1. It's the 38th playoff game, and Grizzlies could get their 38th loss for the season to end it. 38 sums to 149. And Jazz would sit on 149 postseason losses with a win. It's the Jazz 77th game for the season. Grizzlies coach can get his 77th loss all time. 77 sums to 49. Today with 49, date numerology on the Gregorian. The number 49 has a square root of 7. So 7 times 7 sums to 49. 77, 7 times 7. Get a 77 loss, 7 times 7, 49. Sums to 49 in Gematria. That would be what it would be for the Jazz. But one thing that's holding me up here, and then Grizzlies would sit on 41 wins for the season as the Jazz win at 4-1, like 41. The thing that's holding me up here is that it is the 257th day for the Hebrew Civil, which is the 55th prime number. Jazz could continue to sit on 55 wins, or not continue to sit on, but they got their 55th win in the last game, and they could sit on 55 wins at least one day, this day in particular, potentially. Grizzlies would drop the series 3-2, like 32. And 32 sums to 49. We talked about that in another game with 49 date numerology. Grizzlies could then get their 35th all-time head-to-head win against the Jazz on 29 date numerology. 29 sums to 149, the 35th prime number. The 38th game, 38 sums to 149, the 35th prime number. And Jazz would sit on 32 home wins with a loss to go with that. They are looking for that 131st postseason win, though, which is the 32nd prime. I think that's it, kind of, for this one a little bit. In regards to them becoming 2-3, the coach becoming 2-3, Jazz would drop 3-2, but on the Grizzlies side, it would be 2-3, like 23. And 23 sums to 163, the 38th prime number, as well as 55. So those numbers, both those numbers we talked about. So it's there for the Grizzlies, potentially. Just like it's there for the Jazz, potentially. So just weigh both options and whatever makes the most sense to you. And then, of course, add more information on top of this if needed. And one last thing, 8 seed versus the 1 seed, like 18 or 81, 81st day of the Hebrew. Mavericks and the Clippers, last game of the day. 39th game of the NBA playoffs. Mavericks 39th away game. Clippers 39th home game. 39 sums to 128. It's the Clippers' 128th post-season game. 39 sums to 56, and they could potentially get their 56th post-season win. So that looks pretty good. I just don't have it marked just because I have a few other things here marked, like Clippers getting their 74th all-time win as they become 7-4 head-to-head against Mavericks post-season. Mavericks can sit on 44 wins for the season with a loss, as Clippers become 4-4, like 44 head-to-head against Mavericks for the season with a win. Like Clippers getting their 44th, or Clippers coach getting his 44th postseason win for his career, and Clippers sitting on 99 all-time losses with a win. 44 sums to 99. Clippers, they can get their 50th win for the season on the 22nd day of the 9th month on the Hebrew Civil, 229, the 50th prime number. But remember, it is the 257th day for the Hebrew Civil. 257 is the 55th prime. Clippers could sit on 55 postseason wins instead of getting that 56. And today does have 49 date numerology on the Gregorian, and they can sit on 49 wins for the season with the loss. And it is a day leaving 96 left on the Hebrew Civil, and Mavericks can get their 96th postseason win. So 257, the 55th prime, leaving 96 left. Mavericks get their 96th postseason win. Clippers sit on 55 postseason wins with a loss. That's another way it could turn out. Mavericks could get their 45th win for the season. Today does have 13 date numerology. 13 sums to 45, and 2 of the 4 base ciphers. It also sums to 99. We talked about that number. Clippers could sit on that 99. So there's some interesting numbers here for the Clippers, especially with the 39, 39, 39. 39 sums to 128 and 56, and their 128th postseason. They can get their 56th postseason win. That's interesting to me. But there's plenty of other numbers here that could make it up for Mavericks. Mavericks could lead the series. If they win this game, they would lead the series 3-2, like 32, as they sit on 32 losses for the season with the win. As Clippers coach gets his 131st all-time loss, the 32nd prime number, as he gets his 23rd postseason loss, 2-3, 3-2, reflections of each other. And this is the Mavericks coach 131st postseason game for himself as well. So the 32s or the 39s is basically what I'm looking at. So I wish you guys the best of luck. Hopefully this video helps. Hopefully it gives you a great jumping off starting point to look into these games yourself. And I hope you guys win every single pick that you make. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.